When you are younger, you think you're gonna live forever.
Cristiano!
You're gonna have power forever.
Ronaldo!
You think you are unbreakable. When you have 25, it's not the same when you have 30s, especially in football. But I'm still feeling good, and I prioritize recovery and the sleeping much more than before. I try to find with my experience to don't push too much my body when they need to recover, but to find the balance, which is sometimes is difficult. I take care of my body since I started to play football. The demand of the body when you have 25 is not the same when you have 30s, especially in football. I'm still feeling good, and I prioritize recovery much more than before. So this means that I'm gonna play 10 years more football.
You did all this work to assess, based on your behaviors, your performance, your physiology, what is your actual physiological age versus your biological age? I'll let you reveal it.
Alright guys, we're back with another reaction video, and today we're diving into something that honestly blew my mind when I first heard about it. The title says it all, staying at the top means it just in the plan with Cristiano Ronaldo explains. How recovery moved to the top of his priorities. And let me tell you, this is exactly why CR7 is still performing at 39 years old, when most players his age are either retired or warming benches. Pause this video before we even get into this. I want you guys to really think about what longevity means in professional sports. We're talking about a guy who's been at the absolute pinnacle for nearly 2 decades. Look, that's not just genetics, that's pure scientific approach to his craft. Resumes video, so Ronaldo's talking here about how early in his career it was all about the flashy stuff, right? The skills, the pace, the power, this explosive young talent at Sporting, then at United, and he thought recovery was just what you did after games. Ice bath, maybe a massage, get some sleep, basic stuff, but listen to this part. He's explaining how around 2014, 2015, when he was hit in his late 20s, he started realizing that his body was sending him different signals, and instead of ignoring them like most athletes do, he actually listened. This is the difference between good players and legendary players. Guys, pause a second, you know what's crazy? Most people think Ronaldo's obsession with his body is vanity. The guy posts shirtless photos, he's always talking about his physical condition. And people roll their eyes like, okay, we get it, you're ripped. What they don't understand is that this isn't about looking good for Instagram. This is about treating your body like a Formula 1 car that needs to perform at 200 miles per hour for 15 plus years. Continues watching, no, he's getting into the specifics. And this is where it gets really interesting. He's talking about how recovery became the foundation of everything else. Not just physical recovery, we're talking about sleep optimization, nutrition time, and mental recovery, active recovery sessions. The man literally restructured his entire life around maximizing recovery. Think about this for a second. While other players were going out partying after games, Ronaldo was in cryotherapy chambers while they were eating pizza and burgers. He was calculating macronutrients and meal timing. People called him obsessive, but look where that obsession got him. Video shows Ronaldo explaining his daily routine. Yo man, listen to this routine he's describing. He's waking up at specific times, not because he has to, but because his circadian rhythm is optimized for recovery. He's talking about how he schedules his training sessions around his sleep cycles, how he times his protein intake to the minute, how he uses technology to monitor his HRV, that's heart rate variability, for those who don't know, to determine training intensity. This is next level stuff, guys. We're not just talking about a footballer here, we're talking about a human performance experiment that's been running for 20 plus years with incredible results. Pauses to address camera directly, you know know what really gets me? The mindset shift he's describing here. He says there was this moment, I think it was after a particularly tough Champions League campaign, where he realized that talent and hard work weren't enough anymore. The margins at the top level are so thin that recovery became the differentiator, explaining how he started working with sleep specialists, how he invested in hyperbaric chambers, how he began treating recovery not as downtime, but as the most important training session of the day. That's revolutionary thinking right there. Resumes video, no, he's talking about injury prevention, and this is crucial. See, most athletes wait until they're injured to focus on recovery. Ronaldo flipped that script entirely. He made recovery the primary tool for avoiding injuries in the first place. Talking about prehab over rehab, preventing problems instead of fixing them, and the results speak for themselves. The guy has had remarkably few major injuries throughout his career. When you're playing at that intensity, at that level, for that long, staying injury-free isn't luck, it's systematic preparation. Video shows statistics about Ronaldo's career longevity. Look at these numbers they're showing. Games played per season, minutes played, goals scored, and look at the age progression. Most players show decline curves starting around 30. Ronaldo's curve is almost flat, and in some metrics, it's still going up at 39. That's not natural talent, that's engineered performance. Pauses for him fast, so what's really fascinating is how he's talking about the mental aspect of recovery. He mentions meditation, visualization, stress management techniques. This isn't just about physical recovery, he's talking about recovering mentally from the pressure, from the expectations, from the constant scrutiny. The man literally treats his mind like a muscle that needs recovery time. He schedules mental downtime the same way he schedules physical recovery sessions. That's why he can handle pressure situations at 39 the same way he did at 25. Continues watching go. This part is gold. He's explaining how he had to convince his coaches and teammates that recovery wasn't being lazy early in his Madrid days. Some people thought his recovery obsession was him being prima donna, but when the results started showing, when he was the freshest player in the 90th minute, when he was avoiding injuries, when he was consistently performing, everyone started paying attention. Now entire clubs have adopted methodologies that Ronaldo was pioneering individually years ago. He wasn't just changing his own career, he was changing football science. Video shifts to expert commentary, now they're bringing in sports scientists to back up what Ronaldo is saying. And guys, this is where it gets really technical. They're talking about mitochondrial recovery, inflammation markers, cortisol management. This isn't bro science, this is legitimate sports medicine that Ronaldo was applying before it became mainstream. The expert is explaining how recovery impacts not just physical performance, but decision-making speed, reaction times, accuracy under pressure. The things that separate good players from great players and great players from legends. Pauses thoughtfully, you know what I think is the most impressive part of this whole thing. The discipline required. It's one thing to train hard when you're motivated, when you're hungry, when you're trying to prove yourself. It's another thing entirely to maintain that level of discipline when you've already won everything, when you're already considered one of the greatest, when you could easily coast. But Ronaldo kept adapting, kept evolving his approach when speed became harder to maintain. He focused on positioning when explosiveness required longer recovery. He optimized that recovery. He never stopped learning, never stopped adjusting. Resumes video. This section about sleep is incredible. He's talking about sleep architecture, REM cycles, sleep environment optimization. The man has turned sleep into a performance enhancement tool. He's mentioning how he tracks deep sleep percentages, how he adjusts room temperature and lighting, how he times his last meal to optimize sleep quality. Most people think sleep is just rest. Ronaldo understands that sleep is when the magic happens, when growth hormone is released, when muscle repair occurs, when memory consolidation happens. He's literally using sleep as a competitive advantage. Video shows Ronaldo's training facility. Look at the setup they're showing at his house. Cryotherapy chambers, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, infrared saunas, float tanks. This looks like a NASA facility, not a home gym, but this is what staying at the top requires in the modern era, people. See this and think it's excessive, but is it really? When you're competing against athletes who have access to the best technology, the best science, the best everything, you can't afford to leave any stone unturned. Pauses to address all the answers. What I want you guys to take away from this: whether your athletes are not the principle Ronaldo is demonstrating here applies to everything. Success at the highest level requires constant adaptation, constant optimization, and the humility to change your approach when circumstances change most. People find a system that works and stick with it forever. Champions find a system that works and immediately start looking for ways to improve it. Final section of video, this last part where he's talking about legacy and longevity. This is beautiful. He's saying that individual awards and trophies are great, but what he's really proud of is showing that athletic careers don't have to follow traditional aging curves. He's proven that with the right approach, you can extend peak performance well beyond what was previously thought possible. He's not just competing against other players anymore, he's competing against stage itself. And so far, he's winning. Video ends out right, guys. That's it for today's reaction. What did you think? Are you as blown away as I am by the level of systematic thinking Ronaldo applies to his career? Let me know in the comments what aspect of his recovery approach impressed you most. If you enjoyed this deep dive into athletic longevity and performance optimization, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We'll be doing more content like this, breaking down what separates the good from the great, from the legendary. And remember, whether you're an athlete or just someone trying to optimize your life, the principles are the same. Never stop adapting, never stop learning, and always be willing to adjust your plan when circumstances change. Until next time, keep grinding, but don't forget to recover smart.